when I fall, let me fall like a leaf, gracefully, without regret. And when I rise, let me rise like a bird, joyfully. And when I fall, let me fall like a leaf, gracefully, without regret. Please rise in body or spirit for next hymn 360. Here we have gathered. Here we have gathered, gathered side by side. Circle of kinship, come and step inside. May all who seek here find a kindly word. May all who seek here feel they have been heard. Sing now together this our heart's own song. Here we have gathered, all to celebrate days of our lifetime, rather small and great. Being of all ages, men and children blend, infants and sages, sharing what we can. Sing now together this our heart's own song. Life has its battles, sorrows and regrets, but in the shadows let us not forget. We who now gather know each other's pain. Kindness can heal us as we give, we gain. Sing now in friendship this our heart's own song. Please remain standing and join me in the words of our covenant found on our screen. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its call. Let this be our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your life journey, you are welcome here. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your life journey, you are welcome here. I'm Michael Leuchtenberger, and I get to serve as the settled minister of this caring, curious, and ever-evolving congregation. It is good to be here. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your life journey, you are welcome here. You are welcome
Welcome to worship. It's so good to be with you this morning in person and online. My name is Dory LeCount, and I serve as the Family Engagement Coordinator of this music-loving and children-embracing congregation. We are here to support each other on our own and our shared spiritual journeys, centered in love, compassion, curiosity, courage, and joy. I am especially happy to welcome first-time and returning visitors. If you are a visitor, we hope you will find us a community eager to welcome you and respectful of the path which has brought you here this morning. Anyone wearing a colorful stole is glad to answer any questions that you may have. There is written information in the pew folders and at the visitors table for you to take. For our online participants, it would be wonderful if you introduced yourself on the chat so we know that you are with us. Our church buildings are located on the traditional homelands of the Pennacook Abenaki people, past and present. We acknowledge and honor with gratitude the land and the people who have stewarded it for generations.
I forgot to say, please be seated, so go ahead. Wow, you are an obedient bunch here. All right, that's interesting. For a complete listing of church events and news, check out our weekly e-bulletin or copy of Parish Notes, our monthly newsletter. Here are a few highlights. Right after the service, I invite you to stay here in the sanctuary for a few minutes for our annual Who Do I Contact For? Session. We have dozens of groups, programs, and opportunities here at Concord UU. And a few of us will be ready or are ready to help you make connections to those who lead activities that might interest you. We also have our social time and newcomer corner in Fellowship Hall. And then at 11:45, Tom Herbert, hello Tom, and I will host our sermon dialogue in the parlor and on Zoom. Kids ages 5 and up are encouraged to join our Young Explorers program, and younger kids are always welcome to stay in our Rainbow Room nursery. Then tonight at 7 p.m., join me for a Taizé service for an hour of meditative singing, a brief reading, a period of extended silence, and candlelighting. Tuesday, all are welcome to join our weekly welcome table dinner at 6, a free conversation-rich meal of plant-based, low-packaging food with gluten-free options. Friday is our games and chocolate at 6:30. People of all ages are welcome to our monthly night of board games and sweet treats. Do you personally have experience as an LGBTQ plus teen? And are you willing to share your personal story with our our whole lives class for the 7th and 8th graders? Then Dory would really love to hear from you, or you can talk to me as well. Our annual goods and services auction is coming up on March 1st, 1 month from today, with the silent auction beginning on February 15th. What will you donate this year? And then let Lorraine Ellis know over there, or talk to me. And finally, Beth, if you could come down for a moment here, Beth Draper. Beth has been one of our 2 Young Explorer guides since September. And she's done a wonderful job connecting with our young'uns. And unfortunately, today we say goodbye to Beth as she begins a new journey in her career. Your presence will be very much missed in the classroom and on the trail. Thank you for all that you have given us. Thank you, Beth. All right.
It's been an amazing experience being here, being welcomed by you all, being entrusted with your children. I've learned a lot in a short amount of time. I feel very overcome right now because the love is so tangible in this congregation, all the way down to its youngest members. And it's been a joy, and I thank you all very much.
Thank you, Beth. Each week, we light our chalice to set this time apart and to mark it as sacred. If you're at home and you have a candle or chalice ready, I invite you to light it now as Madeline lights our chalice here in the sanctuary. Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing, show to us beauty, vision, and joy. Rise up, O flame, rise up, O flame, show to us beauty, vision, and joy. Before we hear the choir sing, let us pause to remember a simple and enduring wisdom, that there are things we cannot change, things we cannot and a lifelong practice of learning to tell the difference. Breathe, okay, yes. That is the Serenity Prayer, not in the way it's usually spoken or presented. The Serenity Prayer, of course, names this not as a destination, but as a daily unfolding, an invitation to breathe, to soften our grip, and to trust that we are not alone in this work. As the choir sings, may these words become more than lyrics. May they become a gentle companion for the roads we walk or roll on, a quiet strength for the choices we face, and a shared reminder that courage and peace can live side by side.
Please repeat after me. It is a blessing to be.
It is a blessing to be.
It is a blessing to be here.
It is a blessing to be here.
It is a blessing to be here now.
It is a blessing to be here now.
It is a blessing to be here now together.
It is a blessing to be here now together. For When the People Ask, by Rosemary Watolo Traumer. I want a word that means okay and not okay. A word that means devastated and stunned with joy. I want the word that says, I feel it all at once. The heart is not like a songbird singing only one note at a time, more like a Tuvan throat singer able to sing both a drone and simultaneously 2 or 3 harmonics high above it. A sound that Tuvans say that gives the impression of wind swirling among rocks. The heart understands the swirl, how the churning of opposite feelings weaves through us like an insistent breeze, leads us wordlessly deeper into ourselves, blesses us with paradox, so we might walk more openly into this world so rife with devastation, this world so ripe with joy. Please rise in body and spirit as we sing our next hymn, number 86 in our gray hymnals, Blessed Spirit of My Life. My life, give me strength through stress and strife. Help me live with dignity. Let me know serenity. Fill me with a vision. Clear my mind of fear and confusion. When my thoughts are restless, let me find a home in me. Spirit of great mystery, hear a still small voice in me. Help me live my word as free, as I come from those in me. Fill me with compassion, be the source of my inspiration. Then when life is done for me, let love be my legacy. Is that it? All right. Please be seated. Thank you. Unless, of course, you are young in age or young in spirit. And please come forward for a time for all ages with Dory here this morning. Come on forward. Any adults certainly invited here too to come join us.
Good morning. This morning, the adults, when the children leave, are going to be talking about aging and growing. And adults are not the only ones who age. Children age and get bigger. And in this book, we're also going to remember that plants age and get bigger. Come on in. Come sit next to Michael. Push down. And also that our families age and get bigger, and our legacies get bigger and live longer. This book is called All from a Walnut. It is written by Ami Joan Paquette and illustrated by Felicita Sala. All from a Walnut. One chilly morning, when Amelia woke, there was a nut on her nightstand. "Ah," said Mom, "it must be walnut season." "Do you have a story for me?" Amelia asked. Grandpa grinned. "The best of stories." Many years ago, when I was a little nut like you, I lived very far away from here, across a great wide ocean, in another country on another continent, near a lake called Como. One day, my parents needed to move. It was a long journey, and we could bring very little with us, just one small bag each. "That's all you brought?" asked Amelia. "That and a nut," said Grandpa. "This nut?" said Amelia. "Not this one, but a walnut just like it. Before we left, I picked it from the tree outside my window. I put it in my pocket. Together, we crossed the great wide ocean to reach a new country on a new continent, where we found our new home." When we arrived, I planted my nut in a little pot. Times were hard, and we moved around a lot. My nut came with us. Soon it was a sprout, and then a plant, and eventually I needed a bigger pot. "Was it a nut tree?" asked Amelia. "Not yet," said Grandpa. Grandpa is growing, and the tree is growing. The plant became a sapling, and soon the pot was so big that it took 2 people to move. That was when I met your grandmother, and we came to this house. I planted my little tree in good brown soil so it would grow strong, here forever. "In this house?" Amelia jumped up. "In this yard?" "Shall we go see?" said Grandpa. Amelia ran for the door, but Grandpa moved slowly, like he was running low on batteries. Amelia came back and held his hand. They walked together. "This is my tree," said Grandpa. "And that one is your mother's." "She got a nut too?" said Amelia. "When she was just about your age," Grandpa said. "How do you grow a tree, Grandpa?" Amelia asked. Grandpa smiled. "First, you dig a hole. Tuck the nut, your seed, in its bed of good brown soil and make sure it has enough sun and water to grow. Then you wait. The great journey has begun." Amelia waited for her tree to grow. She kept the pot on her windowsill, and Grandpa showed her how to give her plant enough water. Enough, but not too much. "Look," Amelia cried one day, "a sprout." Outside, the days got shorter and the nights got colder. But inside the snug pot, Amelia's sprout thickened and grew leaves. Grandpa showed her how to turn the pot, so the plant got plenty of warm sun. Enough, but not too much. As time passed, Grandpa moved more and more slowly. He stayed in his armchair most of the day, and sometimes he fell asleep right in the middle of a story. "Grandpa," Amelia asked, "are your batteries running low?" Grandpa just squeezed her hand. "Look at your nut," he said. "See how it's grown?" Grandpa's hands were wobbly, so Mom helped Amelia move the growing plant into a new, bigger pot. "Will it ever become a tree?" Amelia asked. "It will," said Grandpa. "All the best things grow with time. Even when you can't see them, they still grow." Amelia climbed onto his bony knee. She knotted her arms around his craggy shoulders. She held on tight. After that, the days grew very cold and very dark. Amelia held her grandfather close for as long as she could. Then she said goodbye. Grandpa's own great journey had begun. Back home, Amelia went to her pot. The sapling looked as droopy as she felt. Amelia knew what she had to do. The pot was nearly as big as she was, but Amelia lugged and tugged it down the hall and across the porch and into the yard. And then she began to dig. As she dug, Amelia thought of Grandpa's journey. Her own tree had come from a nut that had come from his tree. They would always be a part of each other. Mom came out and squeezed Amelia's hands. They both held on tight. There was her new sapling, small but strong. There was the tree her mother had planted many years ago. And spread wide over the both stood the biggest walnut tree of all, a tree that had long, bony limbs and craggy branches, and a tree that came from a nut that had crossed the world and found a home in this spot of earth. It would be here with them always. One day, Amelia would pick a nut from one of those branches. Then she would tell the old story all over again. Not now, one day, when walnut season came again. Thank you all.
Those of you up front here, if you can rise, the rest of you stay seated, and please sing our children's blessing with the movements that embody its message. May our minds be open to new learning. May our lips bring truth into the world. May our hearts know love and our hands do the work of justice as we go our way in peace. As we go our way in peace. May our minds be open to new learning. May our lips bring truth into the world. May our hearts know love and our hands do the work of justice as we go our way in peace. As we go our way in peace. We now turn to the joys and the sorrows we carry individually and as a community. Will you take a breath with me? As we surrender to this moment, let us notice our body resting, grounded, supported by Mother Earth. And as the piano begins to play, you're invited to come forward, light a candle or place a stone at the table to your right, or add a note to our holding our grief wheel. Today's joys and sorrows we will hold in silence with no public sharing at the microphone. And I invite Donna to light one more candle on behalf of those who are not with us today or who chose to remain seated. Tandy McGowan emailed, "My friend Susu Müller passed away yesterday. Very sad, though she is relieved of suffering. Please hold her and her husband Alex and her daughter Madison in love." It's also a close friend of mine. And on Friday, my cousin Martin Bruns died after struggling for 3 years with the after effects of a stroke that he had while in Germany. Whether your joys or sorrows have been named or remain in the silence of your heart, know that you're not alone. May we hold our earth in our hearts with joy in her nature, in awe of her majesty, power, and resilience, taking responsibility for the hurts that we have caused her. Will you take another breath with me? This week, we hold in love George Schneck and Aunt Roxy. Please join me in singing our musical meditation number 1012 in our teal hymnals, "When I Am Frightened." When I am frightened, will you reassure me? When I'm uncertain, will you hold my hand? Will you be strong for me? Sing to me quietly. Will you share some of your stories with me? If you will show me passion, then I may learn to care as you do. Then I may learn to care. When I am angry, will you still embrace me? When I am thoughtless, will you understand? Will you believe in me? Stand with me willingly. Will you share some of your questions with me? If you will show me acceptance, then I may learn to give as you do. Then I may learn to give. When I am troubled, will you listen to me? When I am lonely, will you be my friend? Will you be there for me, comfort me tenderly? Will you share some of your feelings with me? If you will show me commitment, then I may learn to love as you do. Then I may learn to love. May that be so, and amen. I would not have wanted to miss any of what I got to see. I would not have wanted to miss any of what I got to see, hear, and experience. The heartbreaking stories of fear, of violence, the constant reminders of the violence embedded in our larger culture, and the reminder that there is no arc that automatically and predictably bends towards justice. Only the messiness of now, our hands in the compost of life, planting seeds for a future we long for and a harvest that remains uncertain. Again and again, I got to witness the essential elements for successful resistance, the willingness to set aside differences in service of a larger purpose, the building of relationships of trust among leaders and neighbors, and, critically so, ways to authentically connect with joy. Joy within and joy as a group. There has to be laughter. There has to be movement that embodies our feelings, that brings us together. The rhythm of clapping, the music of song, all evoking and pointing to something larger and deeper than our own fears and personal concerns. Picture this. It's Thursday morning. Clergy arriving from all over the country on very short notice, converging on the sanctuary of the Westminster Presbyterian Church in downtown Minneapolis, a sanctuary I had last been in 20 years earlier for the wedding of my brother-in-law. Pew after pew filling up, over 1,000 of us, nervous, and yet ready to be present to whatever the local organizers had in store for us, a remarkable show of trust. And then it began, a drum beat, and then singing. And what a sound it was, a release, an exuberance, a growing sense of courage, a palpable joy in this room of strangers united by our commitment to be present. I said strangers, but of course that isn't entirely the case. Over 200 UU clergy surrounded me, greeted me with hugs and smiles and, recognitions across the room. And yes, our yellow side of love stools. I learned a lot of new songs, both in Minneapolis and then in Albuquerque, where I spent an additional 5 days with many of those same UU clergy. I will bring those songs, their power, their history, into our sanctuary and into the streets of Concord soon, I hope. In the meantime, I invite you to embrace the joy that the music of our anthem exudes. I invite you to connect with the emotions, especially if the lyrics speak to a theology not your own. Lord, send your spirit. Lord, send your power. Lord, send your glory so that we can be used by thee. We most certainly need our spirits filled. We need to feel empowered. We need to be embraced by a glorious light of purpose, used by that light, a shining beacon pointing a way forward.
I am not an expert on aging, but I can offer you some reflections and observations that I have made during my almost 82 years that I've been on this planet. A few years ago, a friend gave me a book entitled Old Age, a Beginner's Guide. Now, how strange is that? And to take it a step further, the author of that book has Parkinson's. So do I. Now, this is not cancer, and it's not terminal per se, but it is a progressive neurological disease for which there is no cure. So I would like to share with you some of my personal thoughts about aging, as well as facing a prognosis of Parkinson's disease. I retired from teaching in the classroom in 2001, and with my wife, Peggy, we biked across the United States on a tandem. That's 3,600 miles in 60 days. And then, after a year as an assistant principal at Concord High, I then went to work as the director of adolescent services for an alternative high school here in Concord, finally retiring for good in 2007. My lifestyle was active. I had built and maintained our cabin on an island in Maine with no electricity. I rode my bike every day, every year to raise money for muscular dystrophy. And I cut, stacked, moved, restacked, and removed wood into our house for the wood stove. Like I said, I was leading an active lifestyle. And I've been dealing with Parkinson's for about 15 years. When I first got a tremor in my left hand, I thought it might be essential tremor. And I just ignored it. But finally, I went to a movement specialist in Hanover who tossed out the essential tremor bit and said definitively that I had Parkinson's. Now I was scared. Here I was, an active, relatively healthy man who thought he could live a long time, suddenly with a diagnosis of a progressive and incurable neurological disease. Thoughts of Michael J. Fox danced through my head. The doctor's statement that if you have Parkinson's, you at least have the best kind, did little to ease my fears. I had grandchildren I wanted to see grow up. I had a wife of almost 60 years who I didn't want to leave to plow the driveway, haul the wood, or maintain the cabin. I still had so much I wanted to do, even if it was just puttering around outside or watching a sunset. When I was teaching at Concord High School, one course I taught was sociology. And one unit, the last one of the semester class, was aging, death, and dying. We talked about Kubler-Ross's stages of grieving, the last one being acceptance. As I thought about these stages, I realized that they applied to my situation. There was anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. I recognized that I was going through the first four, but I decided that while accepting the prognosis of Parkinson's, I would not accept the consequences of it. I would not let Parkinson's disease rule my life or what I had left of it. At that point, several years ago, I chose to have brain surgery called deep brain stimulation up in Hanover. 4 electrodes were placed in my head, and I have wires running down under the skin on my head, down the neck to batteries. Sort of like a pacemaker. As a result, my tremor was basically gone in one hand, and I decided to have a second DBS on the other side. Might as well. My tremors are now basically gone in both hands. I continue to have other Parkinson's disease symptoms, such as some slow movement, fatigue, depression, and loss of legible handwriting. One of the hardest parts of Parkinson's is knowing what is Parkinson's and what is aging. There is no definitive test or list of symptoms for Parkinson's disease. It's sort of like playing pin the tail on the donkey when we were kids, blindfolded. I realize that this topic is supposed to be about aging, and here I am blithering away about Parkinson's disease. My Beginner's Guide to Aging, the author Michael Kinsley, wrote, if 100 Americans start the voyage of life together, on average, one of them will have died by the time the group turns 16. At 40, their lives are half over, because life expectancy of 40 is 39.9. At age 63, the group starts losing an average of one person every year. Then it accelerates. By age 75, 67 of the original 100 are left. By age 100, there are 3 remaining. Depressing thoughts, you say? A lesson to remember it, I think. Love those around us while we can, and they are here, and tell them of that love.
Say that one more time.
Love those around us while they are here, and tell them so. Kinley's statistics clearly point out the one thing that we have to get accustomed to. That is not only our own mortality, but the mortality of those around us. We start to lose more friends, family, and relatives. We read the obituaries with more interest and trepidation. While there are some hard things to face as we age, there are also some positives. You retire, and as a result, you get more time, if you choose, to do the things you have wanted to do. You can travel, volunteer, play cards with friends. Every day is a weekend. You can do the exercise that you've put off because of your work schedule. You can see your children if you have them, and grandchildren if you're lucky to have those too. You can have time to putter if you are a putterer like me. I found that each time I retired, I felt the loss of community. I am not a social person, contrary to popular belief. So finding a new community for me is a challenge. From what I have read and observed, this can be a bigger problem for men than women. Mobility and memory figure into this equation as well. As we age, it gets more and more of an issue to get around safely. Joints don't work the way they used to. Backs don't like sitting or standing like I'm doing right now. Even walking without falling can be a challenge. And having to turn in your driver's license can be monumental. My challenges are walking without falling, without shuffling, balance, falling frequently, and getting into the car so Peg can chauffeur me to a doctor's appointment, to the hardware store, or to get more pallets so I can store more wood. I don't know how much of that stuff can be attributed to aging or Parkinson's. Maybe both. The other end, memory, can start with simple things like where you left the car keys, and then progress to full-blown dementia or Alzheimer's. But along that progression, there are names and dates that just aren't there. Forgotten appointments. And where the heck you left that list of things that you didn't want to forget. Health issues become even more serious concern and require more thought. Each new pain raises a concern flag. Is it cancer? Heart? A brain tumor that's causing these headaches? And sometimes it is just general aches and pains of living day to day. Often a loss of hearing is a major issue as we age. It limits not only what we hear, but also where we can comfortably be. I once saw a hearing specialist who told me that my hearing at both ends of the spectrum was good, but the middle was awful. And the middle part is where the human voice is heard. Hearing aids, not a chance. Even the best ones don't help. So I take part in a conversation with friends, not happening. A crowded restaurant, forget it. Talking in a car with your friend can be a real challenge. And then your eyes. I have seen 3 eye doctors who have told me that my optic nerve is damaged in one eye, and I have glaucoma in both. I can no longer read a book or magazine, and I have trouble reading captions on the TV and the keyboard of a computer. That's 2 more of my senses fading away. Anyone dozing off out there? If so, I can understand why. It's not just because I'm up here yapping away, but your lack of sleep last night, the night before, and the night before that. Sleep patterns are all screwed up. I yearn for 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep. I'm lucky if I get 4 or 5 these days. This leads to naps during the day, which can affect our daily schedules and ability to interact with others, to be a part of that community we have lost. It can lead to an earlier bedtime. Like for me, it's 6:30. When most people are eating supper, I'm in bed. The issue of what you want done if you become incapacitated becomes much more of a hypothetical discussion point. You are faced with the question of quality of life versus quantity of life. And these questions need to be talked about with those closest to you and who you love. In many cultures, stature and honor come with aging. The elders are held in high regard and sought out for their wisdom and advice. In our youth-oriented society, this is not the case. The elderly are mostly ignored and left to remember the good old days. Their wisdom and knowledge, learned over their lifetime, is left to decay on a compost of forgotten lessons. This oftentimes results in repeating the same mistakes again and again. And instead of living with the elders, we put them away in special facilities. When I visited Vietnam a few years ago, I saw that elders were prized, honored members of the family, and cared for by their children and grandchildren. And what about our finances? Are we secure enough to do what we have wanted to do? Have we put away something for our kids and their kids? Are we able to donate to these causes that we believed in? Causes or organizations that support our UU philosophy and goals. See, I told you I'd get that in there, Michael. I think for me, one of the hardest things to adjust to with my aging and Parkinson's disease is allowing others to help me, to accept help, to accept that there are now things that you used to be able to do that are no longer on your list of what you can do. And I think this is true for anyone as they age, not just those with Parkinson's disease. But as a friend told me, by asking for help or letting others help us, we are giving them the opportunity to help another whom they care about. But that is still hard for me to do. I've had several role models of how to age gracefully, and I could point to several people right out here, right now, but we'll only single out a few. One was Betty Eberhardt, who epitomized for me how to grow old and gracefully share her insights and knowledge, and all with a sense of humor. Another was Peg Gross, who was not afraid to get up and leave church. See, there we go again. And leave church when she felt it had gone on long enough. With a quick stop for some takeout food at Fellowship Hall. The third one you don't know. She was my mother-in-law, Peg's mom. At 97, she was as caring, non-judgmental, and loving as she was at 46 when I first met her. And then there were Bob and Dot Soul, former members of this church, who have both died. Now forgive me if you've heard this story before, but I could not resist including it. They used to come into my sociology class and answer kids' questions about growing old. Nothing was out of bounds, and the students made up a list of questions that I would send to Bob and Dot when they came to my class. The students invariably wanted to know about sex. But when they saw Bob and Dot, they couldn't bring themselves to ask people who looked like their great-grandparents that question. And it was always a boy who'd ask the question. Finally, Bob would look at Dot and say, "You know, dear, they haven't asked the question yet." Dot would agree and a brave student, this boy, would then mumble, "What do you think about sex?" Bob, ever the humorist, would ask the boy if he could speak up because it was hard of hearing. The young man repeated the question a little bit louder, and Bob responded, "Sex? I love it." The astounded students would laugh, and then Bob would come in for the kill. He asked the student what he meant by sex. "Do you mean intercourse or intimacy?" And the discussion started, and the students saw two elderly folks in a totally different light. That was wisdom right there. Aging is a process that we can't do anything about, just as I can't do anything about my prognosis of Parkinson's disease. I can't do everything I once did, like bike 150 miles in 3 days to raise money for muscular dystrophy. But I can ride 30 miles in 3 days. I still do what I can, accepting there have to be more changes in my expectations. We can sit in a corner and let aging happen to us, or we can wrestle with it and push it and keep trying to move forward. I choose the latter. In summary, getting old ain't for sissies.
Thank you for your generous support of last week's outreach offering to support the youth group trip to Alabama. There's now 10 youth signed up, and a few adults will join them. It will be a wonderful time, I hope. Today's community plate will support our outreach ministries, including UU Friends of Refugees, whose mission is to welcome and assist refugees in the Concord area. Your contributions are an important gift of steadfast support for our many refugee friends and neighbors. To date, 17 circles of support have been formed, bringing together groups of congregants with the refugee family. When possible, we work with youth and families with Project Story and Overcomers Refugee Services. UU4 has also collaborated with Temple Beth Jacob and South Congregational Church, UCC. Our morning offering will now be gratefully received. May we be transformed by our giving. May the world be transformed by our gifts. Please rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn, number 354 in our gray hymnals. We laugh, we cry. We laugh, we cry, we live, we die, we dance, we sing our song. We need to feel there's something here to which we can belong. We need to feel the freedom just to have some time alone. But most of all, we need those friends we can call our very own. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found a need life. We seek to put an end to all the waste of human strife. We search for truth, equality, and blessed peace of mind. And then we come together here to make sense of what we find. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found the joy being together. And in our search for peace, maybe we'll finally see, even to question truly is an answer. Go out into the world in peace. Honor one another. Listen with an open heart. Stay curious. Have courage. Be kind. Embrace the mystery, welcome awe, and live always the way of love. I now invite you to extinguish your chalice as Jim extinguishes our chalice here in the sanctuary. Please join me in reading aloud the words on our screen. We extinguished as flame, but not the light of this faith we share, the warmth of community or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Now please join me in singing our unison benediction. If you're comfortable joining hands or elbows, go ahead and reach out. And if not, reach out with your heart to all of us worshiping with you, knowing that you are not alone. Session here in this.
you.